So we help wholesale distribution, manufacturing, and e-commerce companies that need help with their inventory management software. Whether they're looking for the right software or they've already purchased one and they need help assuring that their implementation is going to be successful. Oftentimes, the need for on-site help comes up. Some inventory management software vendors offer on-site consulting, some do not. We offer it. Part of what we do is manage expectations. For small business owners, an inventory software implementation is a new thing that's never been done before by anyone in their company. And it's important to have realistic expectations. And one expectation we sometimes need to manage is the expectation that you can successfully go live with an on-site training. Have someone out there for a week and then go live. Now, this is a realistic expectation for companies that we have found are doing somewhere between $1 million to $3 million a year. These are the small companies where I wouldn't even really consider it an implementation project. It's more of an onboarding project. It's more of a plug and play approach. There's just a few people in the company and your company's small. So a realistic expectation is, okay, you need a little bit of help, a little bit of training, some help with setup, maybe an on-site, and you can go live. Personally, I think an on-site for a company that does between $1 million to $3 million a year, wholesale distribution, manufacturing, e-commerce, is overkill. I don't think you really need an on-site. I don't think you really need on-site consulting unless you're doing over $5 million. And I would highly recommend seriously considering on-site if you're doing over $10 million. So for me, in my opinion, between $5 million and $10 million is a gray area. Now this is coming from, what's today? Yeah, about 17, 18 years of experience helping small business owners successfully implement their inventory management software. And over those years, I've done hundreds, maybe over 500. So hopefully, that little bit of background gives you some confidence in what I'm saying, right? So if you're wholesale distribution manufacturing, you are looking at an implementation project and should be seriously considering on-site consulting. So when someone comes to us and says, hey, we want someone on site that can help us go live, I wanted to create this video for you to think about the bigger picture. Not just the on-site, but to assure that you have a successful implementation. That's really what we're interested in. We're interested in customers being happy, being satisfied, having an ultimate successful experience. So we tend to take that approach, and usually starting out with an on-site for a company that does somewhere between 5 to 15 million a year is not actually the best way to start out. Best way to start out is with some remote preparation work. Think about this, for instance. It takes time for your users to absorb or adopt new software and new processes and procedures. So not only are they learning new processes, but you're also going through some operational changes. And change sometimes takes time. It doesn't always work to try to cram the whole project into a 1-week on-site. It kind of depends on how large your company is, what your needs are, what your adoption rate is, what your availability is, what's the priority of the project, what's the complexity of your workflow. In order to determine whether or not a 1-week or 4-day or 2-day or 3-day on-site is all you're going to need, you need to first estimate the number of consulting hours that will be required. And also, what I've seen is usually the number of hours required by your staff is 2 to 3 times the amount of hours required by someone like myself guiding you through a successful implementation project. Hopefully that helps clarify the commitment level that would be required of you to successfully implement a new inventory management software. Now, if you're a $20 million, $30 million, $40 million, $70 million company, then it would make sense to begin the project with an on-site. All of our projects begin with a discovery interview, and the discovery interview's length and intensity varies depending on the size of the company. For instance, a $1 million company may only require a 30-minute discovery interview. A $20 million company may require a 1-day discovery interview or a 4-hour discovery interview. Depends. $20 million company, $40 million company. These are all rough estimates, right? There's other factors involved, obviously, like number of employees, like I mentioned before, complexity of workflow, size of your warehouse, whether you're wholesale distribution, manufacturing, or e-commerce, or all of the above. We here at Brownell Consulting look at the on-site consulting as part of a successful implementation project for some companies that are the right size. So separate from our implementation project discovery interview conducted by myself or one of our other implementation consultants, our sales rep can conduct a brief discovery interview to help determine how many consulting hours would be required for your project to be successful and whether or not on-site would be recommended or not recommended or highly recommended, or maybe how many days or how many on-sites would be recommended to assure your implementation is successful. That is always going to be our ultimate goal, is that your implementation is successful. We also, of course, are going to be sensitive to your budget. And whatever implementation project plan or recommendation we come up with, of course, we want to be sensitive to your budget. So let us come up with a plan that makes sense with your budget and your goals and the problems that you need resolved, or the problems that you're looking for your inventory management software to resolve. And let us help you assure that your implementation project for your inventory management software is a success. I'm Lance, inventory management software expert since 2006. Click like or comment below, subscribe to see more videos like this. And I hope this helps getting you thinking about what it takes for an inventory management software implementation project to be successful.